This is the David Goodman Reality and Truth Show. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Vanita Lambert, and I have a very special guest here with me today. His name is Al Fascini. Al, thank you for coming on the show today.
Vanita, thank you for having me. And at what point in time, I've done the show 3 times now, when do I not become a special guest anymore?
Exactly. You're always special to me, Al.
Thank you, Vanita. Thank you.
You're very, very special to me. That's why you're always going to be a special guest. And we have some really good information. We're going to be talking a little bit about business insurance. We're not going to get too depth into all the numbers and this and that, but we're going to give you an overview. If you're a new entrepreneur, or if you're starting a business or an LLC, S Corp, or just a 1099. But before we get into all of that, I just want to say, I am so happy and so blessed, and I want to thank God that I live in the best country in the world.
No doubt about that.
I mean, I can't even complain about COVID today. No. I'm not going to complain about COVID. I'm not going to talk about the numbers. We can put all of our petty differences aside.
Agreed.
Because my heart goes out to all of the people that are suffering, needlessly suffering in Ukraine. My deepest condolences for all of their losses, and I just pray to God that I pray for world peace.
Oh, no doubt.
I added into my prayer when you see the children and families. It just makes me feel like helpless. There's nothing you could do. And then, I can't complain about the gas prices. If I had to pay $7 a gallon for gas right now, I have a kind of job where, I could afford it and, I would just pay it. I'm not going to complain about the gas. I'm not going to complain about COVID. If somebody told me to put on a mask, I just put it on. I'm not going to complain about our petty differences that we always complain about every single day when something like this is happening. I just feel so bad for those people.
And the president of Ukraine's a hero. I mean, it's just beyond belief. Any other world leader would have, fled out of the country as quick as possible. And here he is, confronting Putin, and I'm blown away by it. There's definitely too much testosterone in world leaders. I'm not joking. I'm not even kidding when I say that.
Yes.
There needs to be more women in politics because it is. It's all about egos and that's what this is all about, which is insanity. Putin's supposedly worth $100 billion, excuse me. What else does he need in life? And why do this? And nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense. It's all about egos and how he wants to be remembered. It's just outrageous.
And a lot of people, I've heard, he's crazy. There are crazy people. I'm not going to say there isn't, but there's also evil people.
No doubt.
And I think, there's a difference. And I think, he's the latter.
Yeah. People are wired a certain way.
They
are. And that's just the way it is.
I'm so glad I'm not wired like that. And again, I commend President Zelensky.
Incredible.
When do you see a president with army green T-shirt standing up defending this country? I'll never forget his words. He said, "I'm not looking for a ride. I'm looking for help."
No.
That will stay with me forever.
It's unimaginable.
It's unheard of.
Truly unimaginable.
It's unheard of. Any other president, like you said, would have been gone.
Would have been gone. Would have escaped at the first chance. And here he is, standing up for his people like I've never seen anyone in my life.
And I'm so happy about that. And they're kicking butt. They blew up some ships and
Yes.
they're pushing them back. So I'm really happy about that, that they're standing up for their country. And I don't think, here's another thing, and then we'll get into our plan here. I don't think Putin expected to fight the whole country of Ukraine. He was just sizing up the size of their army, I think.
Yes.
And now he's got everybody. I saw women with rifles or shotguns or
standing
something.
up for their country.
Yes, yes.
Exactly correct.
One of them, I saw in the news, she was like, I'm a teacher. Can you imagine just leaving everything behind except for what you can carry today after everything you worked for? And so people, thank God you're in the best country in the world. You don't have to worry about that. Put our petty differences aside and just appreciate everything that you have, because it could be gone in a whim.
No doubt.
Yep.
Well said.
Okay. All right. So now we're going to talk about what we do and what we love to do, what our job is. We do so much I have to have him back. He's already been here 3 times. So I got to have him back like at least every other month because we help people in so many different ways. And I love that. And we have a passion for it. And I can't tell you how much I enjoy my job. And it's because of Al that I'm even still here. I love what I do. I have a passion for it. I sit down at kitchen tables, and when I help somebody, I feel like, I just hit the lotto or something. Isn't it a great feeling?
It's the most fulfilling profession where we truly impact people in a positive way by giving them the right information when they need it. And when they need it the most is usually at a time when they're down, either financially, physically, health-wise, and we're there to support them in every way.
Or just confused.
Taking away all the confusion out of everything from retirement planning, business planning, if they own a business. And we're going to talk a little bit today about business planning and Business 101.
Exactly.
And some of the things that some individuals, I think having to get their ducks in a row, just making sure everything's in order. And I think a lot of times we don't do that until it's too late, or a crisis takes place. Oh, I don't have this, and I didn't do this, or I don't have a will, or I didn't, and I think it's just so important to get the right information and to do the proper planning before something goes wrong, or before something happens, or before an illness takes place.
I agree.
I think it's so important.
I agree, and I saw that with COVID. I saw that. The country shut down for 3 months or whatever. A lot of people lost their jobs, didn't have money for 3 or 4 months, and started their own businesses. And I think that's why we see so many help wanted signs out, because people had to find another way to survive.
Sure.
And so they started their own businesses. So we have a lot of new entrepreneurs out there. And so we decided to pick this subject today to help you guys along and to help out all the new entrepreneurs that are thinking about it.
Yes, we're just kind of going to go through a little bit of a checklist how we might be able to support a new business or an existing business. And a lot of it, we've aligned ourselves with one of the largest property and casualty agencies in the state of Connecticut, just to make sure that our clients get the right information as it pertains to getting the right workman's compensation, getting the right general liability insurance, insuring a building, just making sure that the coverage is correct. And we deal with a large property and casualty agency that have experienced representatives that can guide individuals to making sure that they're not overpaying, they're properly insured. So liability insurance is first and foremost. And a lot of times people set up, LLCs, thinking that's going to get rid of all the liability, and it does not. It does not in a lot of instances, depending on the title of the officers in the company, the managers and the owners. So making sure that you're properly insured with the proper liability insurance, errors and omissions, whatever it may be, I think is really, really paramount. Like a small business. Well, how do I do payroll? How do I get this information? And I think, one of the softwares that I thought was always incredible for a small business starting out is QuickBooks.
Okay.
QuickBooks, it sounds kind of really, really fundamental, but QuickBooks can do payroll. QuickBooks can give the information to your accountant. Having a great CPA and a great accounting firm is so important. Setting up QuickBooks the right way is so important. Getting health insurance is so important. And and that's some of the areas where we come in, educating people on affordable health care or group health insurance, whichever's the best based upon their situation. Affordable health care, there's some massive, massive subsidies if they put in for it. I have so many clients where the majority, and they have strong incomes, where the majority of the premiums are entirely subsidized by our government, which is incredible, because that's when people need it the most.
Exactly.
We're so lucky. I know there's a lot of people that are anti-affordable health care. I think it's the biggest godsend ever, because when it bridges people from, when they're retiring, if they retire before 65, to get them to Medicare. Where Medicare is very reasonable and affordable, but, previously a 64-year-old, a 63-year-old, the premiums are $15,000, $16,000, $17,000 a year for health insurance. So we're so blessed that affordable health care exists. And we also help people with group health insurance through the biggest carriers in the state of Connecticut. You know, everything from Anthem Blue Cross to United Healthcare.
Healthcare.
You know, we offer group health insurance, and we do a cost comparison to see what's best for them based upon their situation. So health insurance is an important factor, and we can help companies that have that are established, and you know, someone who's just starting out in business.
Exactly. And we can also help companies, you know, protect their employees in terms of, you know, incentives and things like that. If you have a key employee, say you have a partnership.
Sure.
And Al and I are partners, and I'm the salesperson, and Al goes out and builds things. What if Al gets hurt?
It has got to be.
How is my business going to continue?
Sure. There has to be some type of succession planning when someone owns a business. Who's going to take it over? Do I have a key person that's going to take it over? Do I incentivize that key person to stay with me forever? I don't want to lose that key person because that business is based on me. So there's everything from buy-sell agreements, one-man buyouts, one-person buyouts, where I can incentivize that individual to stay with me. Because that's important. You don't want to lose a key person. It takes years and years and years to train somebody to understand your practice. And losing it is not just a financial blow, it's an emotional blow, and it's a time issue. You know, how do you train someone?
Experience.
It's impossible.
It's
so
experience.
having a succession plan, having a business continuation plan, having a buy-sell agreement, you know, and having a funded buy-sell agreement is so important. First of all, sole proprietor, that business will end when that person passes away. What's the succession plan? When you have a partner or a corporation, you know,
or your
you
kids.
You don't want to be in business with a spouse, so you want some type of an agreement, like a buy-sell agreement, where you have the ability to purchase that business at the fair market value based upon a formula that buy-sell agreement sets. So it sets the price of the business, and it allows the partner to buy that business at a fair market value. So I think that's so important. Using a funded buy-sell agreement where you're utilizing life insurance or term insurance, very inexpensive insurance, to making sure that the dollars are available if a partner does pass away. How do you purchase that partner? You don't. Exactly. A lot of people don't have the liquidity, so life insurance is used quite often with business planning and making sure you have the financial ability to buy that partner out, and then you know, if there's a surviving spouse or a family member, they're getting the proceeds, so they know they're going to get paid from the worth of the business, and it's all been established. When you do a buy-sell agreement, it also establishes the cost for estate taxes and estate planning. You know, Connecticut, one of the things that Malloy did that I think was great, that our estate taxes used to be at $2 million before he left office. He had the state of Connecticut's estate tax follow the federal limit. And right now, the federal is $22 million. And that sounds like a lot of money, but estate taxes are going to sunset in 2025. And all that simply means, when Congress raised the exemptions for estate taxes, they put a time limit on it so they can justify it to Congress that it's going to cost $80 billion. I just made up a number, by the way. So they can put a dollar on it, a dollar figure on it, and then if Congress doesn't act, estate taxes are going to go down to $5 million, and state of Connecticut will follow that in 2025. It's not that difficult to be worth over that, and having a plan in place and understanding Connecticut estate taxes and federal estate taxes is so important, because federal estate taxes stack, Connecticut does not. So you have to plan for two $5 million credits if you're married. So there's just a lot of planning that goes into a business, you know, and just making sure your affairs are in order, getting the right representation, getting the right guidance through your financial advisor, your insurance agent, your CPA,
lawyers,
and an attorney. Yeah, it all goes together.
Definitely.
You know?
One of the business insurance plans that I was introduced to a few years ago, I was working with one of my colleagues, is we set up, it's like a 401k plan, but we set it up through life insurance. It's under IRC code 162. We use life insurance to set up tax-free retirement plans for all of the employees, and it had two benefits. It had a living benefit and it had a death benefit. So while the employee was still working, if something happened to them, worst case scenario, they were in an accident on the way to work and they didn't make it, then their family would get this big bucket of cash.
Yes.
So that was one of the benefits. And then the other one, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
You want to say something?
No, you're absolutely
And then the other benefit was the tax-free, the cash bucket that built up. So let's say that same person worked until they were 65 and then retired, they would take that tax-free money, all of the money that they put into it is 100% tax-free, and then they would pay a small capital gains tax on the interest of that, and they would live off that as just like a 401k. The only difference is this one didn't have the same restrictions as a 401k. You didn't have to wait until you were 59 and a half to take out of it. It was owned by the employee, and their family members were the beneficiaries. So if something were to happen,
you can also discriminate towards your key employees. You had ability, if you had some key employees that you really wanted to financially take care of, you had the ability to do it.
Exactly. You could discriminate. Like you said,
Yes.
you didn't have to give, like when you have a 401k, and I'm not knocking a 401k, they're great. But, there's a lot of restrictions with 401k, and you have to offer it evenly across the board. This type of plan, you could discriminate. You could give, say you have a great employee that's always on time and, bringing your coffee and whatever. You could give them, you can incentivize them a little bit more than the ones that were late and just didn't work as hard or just whatever.
And then, there's so many other different retirement plans, I think, that are so key when you own a business.
Exactly. And this particular one, I want to make one more point about this, Al. Sorry for cutting you off.
Go ahead.
But this particular plan, your employees, since they are the owner of the plan and their family is the beneficiary, the business got a tax write-off.
That's right.
A dollar for dollar tax write-off.
For making the premium payments.
Exactly.
They bonus it through Section 162.
Yes.
So the business itself is getting a tax
Exactly.
deduction. Yes,
Exactly.
it's incredible.
The owners, I think, got a 50%. 50% on a dollar. Don't quote me on the numbers. You could call me, sit down with me, and I'll go over it with you. But the employees, you got a dollar for dollar tax write-off on the premiums that they were paid, and I thought that was just great.
There's so many different. Again, looking at what you have a need for, tax deductions are sometimes very important. When you get a tax bill, oh my God,
You're
what
going
am
to
I
pay
going to do?
taxes anyway.
No, what am I going to do? So, Section 162, where you can plan that out. Simplified employee pension plans, super IRAs. If you're self-employed, you can do up to 25% of your compensation, up to $61,000 a year into a simplified employee pension plan, which is incredible. And you can do that. You have up to the last day of your, if you have an extension, you have the last day of your extension. So you can do it right. It's not April 15th. It's up to the time you do your extension, which is kind of awesome. So you find out, oh my God, I owe the government so much money. Well, you talk to your accountant, how much would a SEP impact my taxes? And we also do all simplified employee pension plans, which is nothing more than super IRAs. Being able to do a Roth, being able to do IRAs, being able to do SEPs. Simple 401ks allow you to make great contributions. It's all going through what's best for you based upon your company's situation. We also help people set up 401ks. So it's just looking at your situation, the size of your company, I think is so important. So we go through like a business fact finder. What's important to the business?
Exactly.
And walking them through it. Disability payouts. Should someone become disabled in the business? How would the business survive? So I think all of it goes together, making sure if the business is successful, how does that how does that impact the individual's estate plan and estate taxes? The last thing you want to happen is to find out someone passes away, the owner of the business, and there was no estate tax planning in it, and there's a 40% liability on anything above the credit against estate taxes. Or to find out that the state of Connecticut, even though it's going to track the federal, it doesn't work exactly like the federal government. So understanding how to take advantage of multiple credits in a marriage. So all of it goes together, and it's so overwhelming. Having an expert is so key in business planning.
It really is.
And little things, just little things. Whether you're starting out, whether you're an established business, get a second look. Don't overpay in fees, 401k fees. Just making sure you understand what you have, that you have the right individual in the driver's seat that's helping you guide yourself through all those moving parts of business planning.
Oh my goodness. And it depends on what type of business you're in.
Sure.
I'm in the insurance business. All I need is, I'm a 1099, so I have an E&O.
That's right.
Errors and omissions, which is about $1 million. So you're covered if you call me and I mess up.
Yes.
Don't worry about that. You're covered.
Yeah, it's all situational. Yeah. And where Vanita has the ability to do a simplified employee pension plan. Simplified employee pension plans and SEPs, which are SEPs, those have certain criterias. If someone's under 21, you don't have to contribute. So there's all these rules that can be custom tailored based upon your situation. And I think just understanding everything and what you can do is so important in any type of business.
That's right.
Because maximizing, and what's kind of scary for me, the years, tick by, so quickly.
Goodness.
Oh my God, I can't believe it.
I'm a grandmother. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I've been in the financial service business for over 35 years.
Yeah.
And I look back, where did the time go? So we're all going to be faced with retiring at some juncture in our life and making sure that we've set aside the funds so we can comfortably retire through a simplified employee pension plan, a simple 401k. A 401k you have to pay yourself first. You have to make contributions into your retirement plan first and foremost, then you pay your bills that are left over. Don't pay your bills first because there's never money left over. Pay yourself first. Put money towards a retirement plan. You'll be happy you did.
I can testify to that. When I was young, I used to try to pay all my bills and then save money. There was never anything left because I like to shop. I had all these credit cards and everything. So what I did, and I did this years and years ago, I reversed my budget. The first thing on my budget is my emergency fund. It automatically comes out. I save a certain amount every single week, no matter what happens, and I don't touch it. And that's the bottom line. You have to do it that way.
Systematic investing is the only way to do it. So you don't see it, it comes out. Because unfortunately, it's human nature to procrastinate.
Exactly.
And then you wake up one day and I'm not financially prepared for retirement. And what's the right amount of money you need for retirement? I've read some studies that you need to have at least, from Morgan Stanley, you need to have at least $1.6 million to be able to retire comfortably.
Wow.
And the reality is not a lot of people have saved enough money, and Social Security becomes such a big part of retirement planning. We also look at how to maximize Social Security based upon your situation. So we have a Social Security maximizer tool that looks at different scenarios to making sure that you're maximizing, where you can get hundreds of thousands of dollars of extra revenue from Social Security by planning it properly.
By planning ahead.
Yeah.
I can tell you a really short story because we only have about 4 minutes left. This goes by so fast. Regarding 401ks, if you don't plan now, you're definitely going to pay later. I was sitting with a couple. They were in their mid-80s, and they had great jobs when they were young, nice 401ks. By the time they got to their mid-80s, 401ks are spin-down accounts. It was gone. The health had deteriorated, and they were a little bit above the threshold of Medicare Savings Program, and they could not even afford to take a vacation.
Yes.
So, knowing what to do, how to not run out of money, making sure you never ever run out of money. You want to get information on things like that because it could happen. You could be all set in your 60s and your health is good and this, that, and the other. The average person is living until 95. So just look at what I'm telling you. This is a real life story. It's not just numbers. I sit at kitchen tables all day long, and I'm sitting with this couple that had great jobs and could not afford to take a vacation and was sick in their 80s. So talk to someone, start retiring, start saving for your retirement early. I'm from a culture where we didn't talk about that because it was mostly about survival. Start saving your money as soon as you can. Or just talk to somebody about generational wealth, or just get information.
A little means a lot if it's done early enough, and that's really the key to any type of retirement plan.
Plan now or pay later,
That's right.
basically. So we have about, 2 minutes left? We have 2 minutes left. I'm going to let Al have the last 2 minutes. Oh, and before I forget, which I forgot to do at the beginning of the show, I want everybody to follow us and subscribe on YouTube. We have a show out there. It's on YouTube. Just in case you missed it, tell everybody about it so you can get this information and you can look at it over and over again. And you have all the phone numbers and all the emails and information. So Al, last words.
Yeah, I mean, give Vanita a call where we go into a fact finder. We try to understand what you're trying to accomplish, and we put together a plan based upon what you tell us, and we give you the information necessary to make an educated decision. And I think that's getting the right information, and getting the wrong information will hurt you.
Definitely.
Getting the right information is so important.
Yep.
So we love doing what we do. We love serving, and we feel so blessed that we're in a profession that can really make a difference.
Absolutely.
And those are my last words, Vanita.
Thank you so much for coming on. And if you want to talk about estate taxes, I'll bring him with me when I come.
Yes.
So I want to thank everybody for joining us. And remember, follow us on YouTube. This is the David Goodman Reality and Truth Show, and we're on your side.